Thayet here the weekly highlights of Arakan. AA Commander-in-Chief and Muslim community discuss Arakan Affairs. Junta announces no elections in 10 townships controlled by AA. AA rejects Bangladesh's drug trafficking allegations as groundless. AA warns it will strengthen security along the Bangladesh border. UN calls for evidence in Thayet Ta Pin Village school student deaths. Civilian injured by Junta shelling in Pauktaw Township. In Arakan, intense fighting between the Myanmar military and the Arakan army has been ongoing for over a year. From September 15th to 21st of 2025, we'll be bringing you notable updates from Arakan. AA Commander-in-Chief and Muslim communities discuss Arakan affairs. Major General Tremendai met with Muslim leaders in late August in Pauktaw to discuss issues related to harmony in Arakan state. During the meeting, both sides exchanged views on fostering peaceful coexistence and strengthening social harmony between Muslim and Arakanese communities living inside Arakan state. Muslim religious leaders told DMG that 2 weeks after AA Commander-in-Chief's visit, the Central Jama Mosque in Pauktaw was reopened. The mosque had been closed since the communal violence of 2012 under the administration of then-President U Thein Sein. Thanks to the reopening facilitated by the AA, it was revived starting September 12th. The reopening ceremony of the Central Jama Mosque was reportedly attended by around 300 people, including Muslim religious leaders, officials of the United League of Arakan, Arakan Army, members of the Dinet and Mro ethnic communities, as well as Hindu worshippers. At the meeting with Muslim leaders, the AA Commander-in-Chief emphasized the importance of building social harmony between the two communities, ensuring that all ethnic and religious groups living in Arakan can freely practice their faith, promoting development in Arakan state, upholding the rule of law and fostering stability and prosperity in the region, according to the members of the Muslim community. The Junta's Union Election Commission, UEC, announced on September 14th that elections will not be held in any constituencies, Pitu Lower House, Nyuda Pitu Upper House, or State Luto, across 10 townships in Arakan state currently under the control of the Arakan army. These townships are Pauktaw, Rathedao, Maungdaw, Putidao, Chowdaw, Mrau, Mambra, Bonajuan, Mrebong, and Rembre. Elections will not take place for any of these 3 types of constituencies in these areas, the UEC said. Observers note that the Junta statement amounts to a complete surrender of these 10 townships in Arakan state, while at the same time attempting to force elections in only 3 townships, Saitwe, Chaupru, and Maeaw. However, even in those 3 townships, the Junta controls little more than town centers, making the upcoming Arakan state parliamentary elections particularly noteworthy, election watchers said. The AA continues to hold An, Dongo, Thandre, and Gua townships, but the UEC has not yet issued any statement on whether elections will or will not be held in those areas. The AA has declared that elections organized by the Junta, which lack public support, will not benefit the people of Arakan, and that no elections will be permitted in territories under its control. AA rejects Bangladesh's drug trafficking allegations as groundless. The Arakan army has dismissed as baseless the allegation that is involved in smuggling drugs into Bangladesh, calling the claims fabricated accusations. At a press briefing on September 15th, Colonel Mahoy Udin Ahmed, additional director of the Border Guard Bangladesh in Remu sector, alleged that some Bangladeshi nationals were purchasing narcotics from the AA and smuggling them into the country. He further claimed that about 80% of the drugs currently being smuggled into Bangladesh arrive via maritime routes, and that narcotics originating from Myanmar were also being trafficked clandestinely to other countries. Bangladeshi authorities also said they have imposed restrictions to prevent medicines and basic commodities from reaching the Arakan side of the border. The AA rejected these allegations, saying it is entirely unreasonable to claim that drugs could be trafficked into Bangladesh from Arakan-controlled territory when cross-border movement is effectively impossible. According to AA spokesperson Ukain Duka, the narcotics recently seized in Bangladesh were in fact shipped via Yangon and Saitwe, areas under Junta control, through cooperation between the Junta and certain Muslim organizations, and transported by sea to St. Martin's Island. The AA added that some officials within the BGB and the Bangladesh Coast Guard who are profiting from the drug trade are attempting to conceal their own involvement by shifting blame. AA warns it will strengthen security along the Bangladesh border. The Arakan army announced on September 19 that it will strengthen security along the Arakan-Bangladesh border due to ongoing activities by Muslim armed groups. According to the AA, in some parts of Maungdaw district, where the AA does not yet fully control territory, groups such as ARSA, RSO, and ARA have been taking advantage of the situation to infiltrate and operate. The AA said these groups have established bases inside Bangladesh and are entering Maundar district via riverine and mountain routes. The AA further accused the Muslim armed groups of targeting non-Muslim locals who go into forests in remote areas to forage for food, cut firewood, or shop at local markets, saying these groups have recently carried out ambushes, kidnappings, and killings. As a result, the AA has advised local residents in border areas not to travel alone or in small groups into forests and isolated areas. For health-related issues or unavoidable emergencies, the AA urged locals to notify administrative and security officers of the ULA-AA before traveling. Earlier this September, 4 male merchants and 1 woman from Thayet Ta Pin Village, Pauktaw Township, were reportedly killed by ARSA gunmen on their way to Inchang village near the Arakan-Bangladesh border. UN calls for evidence in Thayet Ta Pin Village school student deaths. The United Nations Independent Investigative Mechanism for Myanmar, IIMM, has appealed to eyewitnesses and those with direct knowledge of the airstrike on a school building in Thayet Ta Pin Village, Pauktaw Township, to provide ground evidence. The appeal was issued on September 16th. According to the IIMM statement, the requested evidence includes photos or videos of injuries, damage, aircraft and munitions, as well as information about victims, the types of aircraft and weapons used in the airstrike, and details about the pilots involved and the orders given. The IIMM said that during the September 12, 2025 attack on the school in Thayet Ta Pin Village, at least 22 people were killed, most of them students, and more than 20 others were injured. The mechanism added that this incident is among the most serious attacks on schools since the military coup of February 2021. The school children deaths in Thayet Ta Pin Village caused by Junta aerial bombings have drawn strong condemnation from ASEAN, UNICEF, Rakhine civil society organizations, and the Arakan Army. Parents of the slain students have also urged the military commission to take strong action regarding the mass killing of school children. A woman from Monte Village in Pauktaw Township's Mringwu Juan, a now Prongka Juan, was injured when a Junta naval artillery shell landed and exploded. The victim, 27-year-old Mala Thanu, was hit by shrapnel on September 17th while fishing along the riverbank after a shell fired by the Junta Navy exploded nearby. She sustained chest injuries from the shell fragments, but her wounds were not life-threatening, locals said. On the same day, Junta naval forces based in Saitwe fired artillery shells toward Migujuan along the Caledon River and also opened fire with small arms at fishing boats. Local fishermen said they no longer dare to go out fishing. Military battalions based in Saitwe and Junta Navy units in nearby waters have frequently shelled the Pauktaw side of the Caledon River, with civilian casualties steadily increasing. These were the main highlights of the past week in Arakan. This program is presented every Tuesday, so please stay tuned. May all people of Arakan and the world stay healthy and safe.